Angry Troll versus Magic Bridge by Dinre. And if you can't tell, this is going to be another one of those crazy tabletop games that I have to somehow digitally represent to make it work any meaningful way. Hey guys, Game Hunter here, and we're looking at another game from the 7-Day Roguelike Challenge of 2013. So Angry Troll Bridge game comes from just a big old PDF, and that's what you download in order to understand how it works. And there's a big old story. I guess I'll read it a little bit. It's going to take a while just to get into the rules, so we'll try to make it quicker this time around, I suppose. Near the old Norwegian village, a troll climbed up from his bridge to make a quick and easy snack of a small goat who was foolishly attempting to cross the bridge alone. And so then you get the three Billy Goats gruff. If you haven't read that story, well, you can read it right there, basically. The troll managed to eventually crawl out of the river in order to seek a new abode. So basically what happens is that the goats, the stronger and stronger goats, and eventually the strongest goat smacks him off the edge. Trolls must live under a bridge by decree of fairy tale narrative. So the troll trudged down the river to the next bridge. Fairies floated by singing little taunts, and so it'd be little taunts by little things, and whatever. The troll grimaced a troll grimace, barely distinguishable from a troll smile, and attempted to ignore the fairy's laughter. I have a bridge, so I'm still a troll. Yes. Unbeknownst to the troll, however, was the fact that he had taken up lodgings under no ordinary bridge, but rather the legendary Magic Bridge. Each night, the bridge's bricks would awaken and migrate to a new river or stream. There, the awakened bricks would form a new bridge to delight tired travelers the next day by providing a crossing where previously none had been. What a wonderful magic bridge it was. But then, of course, the troll realizes that the little brick voice is softly whispering it's time to move, and the troll goes, "Not on my watch!" And then, of course, now it's, now we start to actually play the game. So the game requires just 52 card pickup deck, a die, and just some means to represent the troll. So it's a pretty simple game if you want to play it not on the, paint, but I guess we're going to play it with paint, where it's slightly going to be more complicated. But ultimately, we have a bridge which is set up in this fashion with the cards. You also have these stacks right here, which kind of represent. We'll look at position in just a second, but basically these help determine what happens on a particular turn. And the Deck of Awakening is essentially added to these stacks. Before the first turn, a card is drawn from the Deck of Awakening and placed face up in the lower stack. Only cards that match this first card's color can be played in the lower stack. So ultimately, and then of course now we have the position of the bridge corresponds to a number on the die. And from what I can understand with the rules, basically, like for instance, my first card was also, it's an Ace of Diamonds. So the Ace of Diamonds, or rather red cards, will indicate that we place, or that we do something with the bridge at the bottom, and black cards will indicate that we do stuff with the bridge at the top. And rolling the die indicates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, where exactly that thing happens. So the goal, simple enough. Troll wants to make sure that the bridge stays. The bridge's goal, of course, is to get away, and ultimately our goal as the player is going to have some semblance of a bridge to live under tomorrow. So playing the game, we have 3 phases, so to speak. The first is the Brick Awakening phase, and so basically we have, and I've kind of tried to represent it just with these little sticks, but in the 3 and 4 we got 1 card, in the 2 and 5 we got 2 cards each, and in the 1 and 6 slots we have, the 3 cards each, of course. Why am I even being silly about it, Let's just go ahead. Why isn't, darn it, I guess I have to use the power of, really? Okay, I was looking at paint wrong. We'll just use this power to say that, not now, wait until I make the other one. Okay, and so now I can change both of these to black, and so now we know that we have red cards played here and black cards played here. So that'll be simple enough to remember. And that's really the only need that we have for it. I also have a calculator here to keep track of the number of cards in the Deck of Awakening, because of course when I get new cards I'll just be flipping the card to see what it is. Not only red and black are important, but also the suit, and rather only the suit is truly important in this game, and that's what I'll be representing as we go through it. Nevertheless, any cards set aside during the previous turn are played into the stacks one at a time. So we do kind of have to, essentially, if... man, I messed up the positioning on that. That's going to just be rather just annoying. Okay, well, that's doable, I guess. Card, right. So whenever we get something placed on the stack, we essentially roll the die and we do something with the awakening phase, which we will discover right here. Each card is played into the stacks one at a time, and a die is rolled for each of those cards. The brick in the row, based on the stack played into, and in the position determined by the die roll, will then awaken. This card has gone from face down to face up. If the card was already face up, the card simply flies away and it's no longer part of the bridge. Immediately set aside for use in the next brick awakening phase. Which is to say that, it counts towards that, towards the whole having cards to deal with later, which sucks. Dormant bricks the troll is standing on will still awaken as usual. And as a matter of fact, one of the exception rule, or one of the loot loss is that if you're on an awakened card, and it is selected to awaken again, you end up flying away with the bridge and basically lose because the bridge is free to run away at that point. From here, we go to the troll action phase. Every turn, the troll must take 2 actions, and for the sake, because it doesn't seem to be clearly expressed, I'm going to say that actions can be duplicated if desired. But so we have movement, stomping, picking up bricks, using them, or laying them down. Movement's always, you can only move in cardinal directions. Stomping, basically, if you're on an awakened brick, you can just flip it face down again. And I'll try to do some sort of way to represent that. I'm not exactly sure, because I'll have to keep track of what the card is in the first place. You can pick up a brick if it's been awakened, if you're next to it, not standing on it. Because, for instance, if you tried to pick up this brick while you were standing on it, you would collapse the bridge, and that would just be silly. So now, place a card on top of the troll token. Troll cannot pick up bricks that are hearts, because troll cannot have a heart. However, if you want to, after picking up a brick, you can use it. And if, for instance, it's a club, let's see, using a brick, after use, the card is set aside again for use in the brick awakening phase. So you do have to worry about that possibility, where you're going to be awakening additional bricks as a result of using it. Anyway, clubs. If the troll is next to an awakened brick, you can just use it to make it dormant. If it's diamonds, you can throw as far as you want to make it dormant. So basically, with clubs, you can only do it to adjacent tiles, and with diamonds, it'll just hit the first thing that you throw in the direction that you throw it. Spades. If the troll is next to a awakened block, the troll can use the spade as a shovel to flip the awakened brick up into the troll's hands as a dormant brick. And then you'd flip the bricks card from face up to face down and then give it to the troll. And then finally, for those spade cards that you get, you can lay down a brick just to go ahead and stick it back where it goes. But it can only be laid down in one of the original positions, so you can't kind of shore up the middle if you want to. There's nothing like that, as far as I can tell. Finally, we have the brick flight phase, which is that bricks attempt to actually run away. Bricks that the troll are standing on or carrying can't flee. However, any other bricks can move 1 space left or right towards the closest bank not blocked by the troll. So, I guess for an example, let's say the troll's here, and we have 2 bricks right here that would I'm trying to think of a situation. How about, let's say the troll is here and the 2 cards right here can flee. This card, since it's not blocked by the troll, would go to the right side, because that's the closest. However, since the troll is here, the card would not be able to flee in that direction and instead would flee to the left. So that's my guess on how it works. And it's going to make things kind of complicated. I will try to at least get through a few turns. I don't know if I can get through a full game without horribly messing up in paint. So... after all awakened bricks attempt to flee, bricks must be evaluated to see if the bridge collapses. So, for instance, if the bridge isn't connected, the bridge collapses. It has to be adjacencies in order for the bridge to be connected properly. So, for instance, if excuse me, if this card instead was at the bottom here, the bridge would be considered connected, so that would be okie dokie. If the bridge does not have bricks at either end touching the riverbank, the bridge collapses. So for instance, if the end points are destroyed, but I mean technically that's the same is true if you don't have like 2 and 5 or any either position here, and anything like that. I mean really, if none of the, if an entire column has been destroyed, then the bridge collapses. So that's one way to think of it. But you can also have this situation. So, however, if this was moved, if this guy was moved to the left, it would still be technically good. At least that's what I'm telling. That's what I'm seeing to work. Winning. If the deck of Awakening is empty, all bricks on the bridge are dormant, and the bridge is still standing. Win is perfect if there are no gaps. So this is to say that the deck of Awakening empties, and that's kind of your cue to kind of try to get rid of any of the bricks that are attempting to flee and whatnot. Otherwise, the dormancy will happen and all that. The bridge wins if the bridge collapses or if the troll is standing on an awakened brick, just as I mentioned, and gets a second awakening. Score for that game is the number of cards left in the deck of Awakening. So wait. I guess you want a low score then, would be the ideal. And so then there's exceptions here to the rules. If indicate an empty location, okay, the next brick closest to a bank is awakened instead, and it goes in this direction. So for instance, if I don't have a 4, then it would go to 5. If I didn't have a 4 or a 5, it would go to 6, similarly. If the deck of Awakening is empty, yeah, you just try to finish up the game. The club, Ace of Clubs, can be used like a normal club, but the club is not set aside. Instead, the club can be used repeatedly, and no other brick can be picked up by the troll for the rest of the game. But that's pretty good, because that means that you're never introducing it back into the deal of awakening other bricks. So yes, and then variations, I guess, would be important. I bet I would actually need to make things important, so easier rather. But now we've already spent a good 12 minutes trying to explain the rules. Let's try to get in a few actual turns. Right, so as a matter of fact, I should subtract 1 from, because this is our first card basically. And I guess how does it work? I suppose on the very first turn, you still have to draw a card. So let's go ahead and draw our card. Also, I guess I don't really know, where does the troll start? Where does the troll start? Oh, man. I feel like I should know this, but, wait. Oh, yeah, right. The troll can start, it has to start on the edge somewhere, but I don't... just give me a sec while I figure this one out. Alright, well, I mean, I did a quick check through the... Darn it. Please tell me this is going to be... well, whatever. I guess I threw that off a bit. But at least it's still the red card. Let's actually use this instead. There are other things to use, so let's just go ahead and flip a coin. I'm just going to go, flip a coin, blah, blah, blah. Let's say heads is on the left side and tails on the right. So, oh, I don't know what, why did you give me that coin, silly thing? Just use freaking, I know, American coins for just penny, right? Everybody knows the penny, even if you're from Nataskaran. I don't know. Okay, so yeah. When the dude is the face, that usually means it's the heads. So we'll be starting in the 1 position, and let's say that we start in the opposite position of what the card was. So to represent the troll, I'm just going to go ahead and make a blotch. Just put a blotch here. Bam! Okay, so that's the troll, and the troll is moved and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Okay, anyway, I need to go back to the dice roller. And let's go ahead and begin our game. So first, let us begin by playing a card. Okay, so this time we got a black 7. So it'll be in this position over here, and let's go ahead and roll our die. And we get, please don't be a 3 or 4, okay, a 6. That is really far away. This means, however, I'll just go ahead and mark on the calculator that we only have 26 cards remaining, because we had one from the very first card that told us the red and black, and now one card that's been played from the deck of Awakening now. The reason it's a small number now is because we have 24 cards just sitting on the Magic Bridge itself, so that's important. In any case, we have a 6 black, so we go right here, and we go ahead and find a new card, and we'll learn what suit it is. It is a club suit. Okay, 9 clubs. Let me just go ahead and font it up. Just call it this, and just 6, right? So just put it here. There's a C. Oh boy! So that's what it is. And I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it. Maybe like because this has the ability to invert selection. I think whenever I make it face down, I'm just going to invert it, but I don't know how well that's actually going to work, so let's hope for the best. In any case, that was the turn of the Awakening phase, and unfortunately it's really far away, so I'm pretty much just going to lose that card outright, which kind of makes things a little easy for me, but nevertheless, naturally my turn is going to just be to... oh crap. I forgot. There's this, the alternate color that you have to leave behind. I'm just going to go ahead and move 2 spaces over to number 3. And of course for the flight phase, let me just make sure I have the PDF ready for me so I know where to go. Yes, this card is unfortunately sent over. And yeah, the fact that it's a black clubs, I marked that with the font basically. So this card moves over and essentially becomes a new card to be played here, so we'll just leave it there for the time being. And as a result, we get rid of let's get rid of the middle one. So that guy is simply gone. Alright, so next turn, and I think we start by playing I guess I don't know if no card... okay, so basically this card is recycled. Let's read this. Let me just show it. If no cards were set aside, a card is drawn from the deck of Awakening. However, if there were cards set aside, then I guess we use those first. So, okay. So then we'll just use this. That's our card for the turn. And let's roll again. And what do we get? We get a 4. Okay, this is the one card from there, and I know exactly how I'm going to handle it. So, thankfully, that will be handleable for the most part. This seems like a really tough game to win, actually, now that I think about it. I imagine there's some strategies, but this seems like it's going to be a really complicated game. So anyway, 4 black, and we go ahead and get the card. Come on. My mouse. I need to get a new mouse, basically. Oh, okay, yeah, so it's a diamonds. It's a diamond, dude. So red color and font. And yeah, so it was right, so D. But darn it, I picked the wrong thingamabobber. D. Alright, there we go. So that's what that is. And so, however, for my turn, I'm just going to go ahead and say, please don't do that, video game. Yeah, of course, with all these color changes and everything, that's the problem. So we're going to move here 1 space, and we're going to go ahead and stomp it. So by stomping it, I will invert it. I really don't know if that's going to work well, but wait, wasn't that supposed to invert it? Flarg. What if I do this? Would that invert? Invert the selection. That did not invert the selection. Oh, I just said select all. Blah, blah, blah. Well, okay. Instead... oh, there we go. Freeform. Oh, and my dude moved back. Why did my dude move back? Of course, I'm going to get caught up with the little shenanigans that are problematic here. How do I want to do this then? I think there's like a rotate button. Where's the rotate button? Or is it something else I can do? There we go. Well, that's not quite what I wanted. No. Oh, no, thank you. Yeah, let's go ahead and just not the whole thing. Please, video game, which isn't even video game. So we'll just do that. I think that works for all of the types. There's none that work like that. Okay, and so we can get rid of you because you're kind of in this stack. So, okay, so the brick flight phase is completely scrapped because there's no one that can move away. So once again, let's go ahead and draw a deck or a card from the Deck of Awakening. See what happens. And we get a red, so we're going to be on the bottom this time. And our dice that we roll, unfortunately it keeps moving around, is the 3. Okay, well that's not awful, although that could lead to a problem. Anyway, so let me just mark 25 is what I have left here. Check. And, right, so we got... I did not... Okay, I haven't checked the card that's on the bottom here. So, King of Clubs. So we got a club. What fun. And now we font it up. All right. Big ol' C right there. So this card's face down, which is nice. And as the Troll Man, I'm just going to go ahead and go 1-2 right into this position. Now, if I end up with a red 3, I lose the game just flat out, which would suck. But, or wait, can I? Hold on. No, that would be way too risky to do on a middle card like this. I could pick it up instead, and then I'd have a club, which is nice. But then I would be in serious problems if either of these were activated. So I think I'll leave it at that. So, okay, once more from the Deck of Awakening then. Let us go and see what we get. It's a red. So I have a 1 in 6 chance of just outright losing the game now. So fingers crossed, guys. What did we get? Okay, well, looks like I managed to barely survive that. Alright then, so let's see what ended up card we get sitting over there. The Jack of Hearts, which is not a card I can pick up. Which, well, that's fine given where it is. Let me just go ahead and change to the font that we get to, and there we go. Okay, much better. So I think for this turn, I'm just going to go ahead and stomp this dude. Come on, there we go. You have been stomped, evil. Darn it, mind. Of course, paint is either it's all or nothing with certain selections, and then I will move 1 space. So once again, I leave myself with a 1 in 12, roughly 1 in 12 chance of being outright defeated. So once again, let us select a card from the Card of Awakening. So I'm at 23 now, if I'm actually counting these correctly. What do we get? Okay, black. Well, I'm safe, so that's good. A black 1. Ah, great. Well, I lose that. I basically lose that guy, and then it gets shuffled back in. Ah, what a downer that is. Downer doozy. Okay, well, let's see. I guess, yeah, let's just figure out which card that ends up being. 2. Okay, 2 spade. But really, it's just more important that it's a black anything. And, I mean, I'm going to move the troll here. Well, I'm going to stomp, of course. That's going to be my first selection to do. So, bam, you've been stomped. And I always have to do something, so I guess I'll just move back to the Diamond Man. I don't know. I guess that'll help. And, of course, you get to go right up here because you got to run away. And, yeah, so I kind of want to be in the black area because that's where things will be happening. Nevertheless, that does mean that now instead we will just go... Sorry, guys. Changed the resolution there for a sec. Just go ahead and roll that die again. See what we get to find. It's a 4. Okay, well, that just flips it back up. But we don't even need to waste time with that because we know what will happen. I will stomp, and then I will just move here because why not? Yeah, so we'll just leave it at that. Now then... we will go to the next card. So, Card of Awakening, Show Thyself. Where are we going? Red this time. And what position? It is the position of the 3. Okay, well, that's simple enough. I just go So that gets flipped up, and then I go there and stomp the card, mindlessly bashing it into the ground. So far this game has been rather lucky. Let's just go ahead and expend another card from the Deck of Awakening. And it's a red again. And what do we get? What do we roll? It is a 1. Great. Well, I can at least reach that card this time. So, what is the card that is located there? It is a club. Another club. So this could be a club I could actually pick up for use. I think I might even want to do that just because this has lots of space available to it. So let's go for that, actually. And I don't even know how I'm going to explain this in terms of stuff. But we know the turn I'm going to make is that I'm going to go 1 here, and then I will pick it up. So let's just go ahead and say that I have a C in my inventory, so I'll be placing it there. Also, I forgot that I had the spade sitting, and you have been removed. Okay, so there we go. And I need to, of course, move the troll here. All right, so Deck of Awakening. Let us go and expend another point. We are down to 20. Oh, man. This could be a long game, and I'm probably not going to keep playing. I do kind of want to reach some sort of interesting position, but so far, I'd say we're more or less just being lucky in terms of how things go. So we're at red, and what do we get? A 3. Well, I think that's pretty obvious. I'm just going to go here and stomp you back into the ground. So, next turn, once again, 19. I think I'm really just getting lucky. For instance, I haven't rolled any 2s or 5s this entire time. Alright, so we're at red, and roll again. I swear, random.org is probably the best place to go online if you need something to roll. Okay, so there we go. There's our 2. But I'm just probably going to stomp it back into the ground. In any case, we do need to know what it is. So it is a heart, and therefore I can't actually pick it up, even if I wanted to. A red heart. So, man, I have a feeling I haven't been properly keeping track of all the colors. Man. Yeah. Well, maybe I have. I don't actually remember. So anyway, let's see. Not C. Let's H. Let's H our way over there. Let's like inching. It's a pun. Ha. Hilarious. Okay, and so now we go. Hilarious. I am cracking myself up today. Okay, so once again through the Deck of Awakening, and yes, where do we go? Okay, so red again, and let's see if we can get like a 4, well, a 5 maybe. I don't know. Let's see. And oh, we got a 4. Okay, so that's been unflipped, or can be unflipped. What do I want to do with this case? Because I essentially have 2 options. The first is to get 2 spaces over to it, you know, and handle it that way. The second option is I move 1 space over and I club it back into the ground. That, however, removes the club from my hand and therefore has to be used, especially in a black zone. So I think I'm just going to take the chance. I'm going to go 2 spaces here, and we're going to unrotate you. So, yes. Okay, rotate left. Good. Okay, so let's see. Once more, going down to 17 cards. Again, if I've been doing this correctly. Okay, so we're at black. That's better because that means I'm not insta-dead. And what is the roll this time? A 2. Okay, so now we're reaching a slightly interesting position. Also, wait, let's see. Troll can only have 1 brick at a time. I just wanted to make sure that was true. Alright, so what is our card this time that we have sitting here? It's a club. It's another club. Alright, sure, why not? It's a black club, right. Another black club. Okay, so I think my first turn, though, has to simply be stomping this bad boy back into the ground. And we go dupe, and we just go up. And which direction do I want to go? I don't think I can make it to you in time, can I? That's annoying. That is somewhat bothersome, isn't it? Because I guess I don't have to smash into the ground, but that sends this one away, and then this place is barren entirely. And that really throws things off. If the 3s and 4s aren't properly holding things around, I have a lot less maneuverability like I have now. So yeah, I'm going to have to spend the turn stopping you into the ground. And I guess I will go to black 4. And however, on the flight phase, I remove you, and I move you to this area where you will then spend time being where you... Oh, well, that. There we go. Okay, whatever. I don't have to keep it the right size. And then, so now we don't have any cards in play, so I can still remove a card from the deck of Awakening. So we're at 16, and we go with a red. A red what? Red 4. Ah, great. Well, at least this allows us to show some interesting positions. So what I will do with that is simply put, let's see, I will stop that one into the ground. That's going to make things annoying, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, so, but let's go ahead and just try to see this out. Puns all over the place. Hold on. Let's make that a better one. There we go. And so we got the club. And I will use that club to beat this heart back down. And let's just say we move to black 3. Meanwhile, this guy gets to go over here. So now we have 2 cards in the black state on this side. So basically we have to roll the die twice for this phase. And 4 and... Great. Fly away. Fly. Well, if it's awakened, oh crap! If it's awakened, period, immediately set aside. Yep, it's immediately set aside. So that sucks. Well, there you go. And so this place is completely unusable now. Although I can place stuff back in it. These 2 go away because they were just used, and of course nothing else happens this turn. So we just go ahead and we roll for red 5. Okie dokie. So what do we get for red 5? That would be you, which is a 4 diamonds. So we get a diamond for the first time. Diamonds are nice because diamonds allow you to kind of use a spear to chuck at stuff. And that's a red diamond. So really? Okay, whatever. Here. Let's try it again. There we go. Much better. Oh yes, right. So this guy goes away. So that's nice. And so what do I do in this turn? What indeed do I do this turn? I guess we will go here 2 spaces. And you will fly, and I'm just going to go ahead and move this stick. Can I move you easier? Okay, good. And the diamond goes over to this puppy right over here. Okay. Oh, crap. I couldn't go that way. I have to go 1, 2, because this space is where it is. Right. And let's just make this last turn, because we are getting really far, really long time showing this. But, I mean, nevertheless, it is interesting. That's why I'm doing it. But, you know, it's a board game, and it's hard to say whether or not this is truly roguelikean. It does require you to make some interesting decisions, but the game is, I hate to say static, but it's kind of like your rule set never expands or decreases, with the exception of the one item that you pick up. So I guess you could just call it a very simple roguelike, and roguelikes are typically rather complex. But you know what? This game has more complexity than other roguelikes that just have movement and killing things, so I'll give it props for that. There is the matter of it being tabletop instead of a video game, and ultimately there's not anywhere else to go other than just some quick variants. But you know, we had a board game last time, and that one was a lot more Dungeons and Dragons-y. Oh crap! I haven't actually done the Awakening, so that's the diamonds. I have to actually roll for this. So, oh well, we get that one, and this sends us to 1. Great, lose another one. That's no good. I'm probably close to losing then. But whatever, we'll just leave it at that once we get to it. So, oh crap, I need to figure out what this is exactly. Oh, it's black. Okay. And it's a club at that. So, darn it, really? There we go. I have a feeling that most of this time was spent kind of fiddling around with the controls, of course. But I hope these 35 minutes haven't been too just uninteresting. I've been interested most of the time, although some of it's kind of been fairly repetitive. But now it's getting really complex, and that's what's interesting about it. In any case, yeah, I can't really do anything over there, so we will spend the turn to pick up this D. And unfortunately, I won't be able to throw it in time, but yes. So this guy gets sent up here, and then we would go, and yeah. So I think I'll leave it at here, and just I would suggest if you're going to play this, get a deck of cards. The game suggests a shot glass for the troll, and of course a 6-sided die, and just play it out. Download the PDF so you have the rules for you when you do it, because this is a neat game, and it's really cool to have board games that are kind of designed in a fashion of solo play. So this is almost a variant of a solitaire game, although it of course requires a deck. But a die. Of course, solitaire card games have a deck, but you know it's really neat. And like with the other one, this one's even simpler because you don't need other pieces and whatnot to make sure that the game's flowing. In any case, this has been Game Hunter playing Angry Troll vs. Magic Bridge, or some semblance of it. Join me next time when we take a look at another game from the 7-Day Roguelike Challenge of 2013. Until then, keep playing those roguelikes, guys, and take care.